channel. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make these cute small crochet pumpkins. I have 3 different size variations, very slight different size variations, so kind of like a bigger, medium, and a small, and I'll link the different patterns for each of them. They'll be on crochetbycolleen.com at the blog post there. But for this video, I'm going to show you how to make this smallest one. So you will need 4 medium weight yarn, whatever colors you want to use, acrylic, cotton yarn, whatever. You're going to be doubling up the yarn and using a 6.5mm hook. You'll also need a tapestry needle and some fiber fill stuffing to put on the inside. But otherwise, that's it. It's really easy and it's quick. I made all 3 of these pumpkins so fast. I'm going to put them around the house, on my desk. They're just so fun and festive for the fall. So let's get started. I'm going to be making the smallest pumpkin size for this tutorial. So you will start off with 2 strands of 4 medium weight yarn on a 6.5mm hook and make a slip knot. And then you're going to chain 16. Okay, once you've chained 16, you're going to make a half double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. So you count over 1, 2, 3 chains. That's where you'll insert the hook, yarn over, pull the 2 loops through, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through all the loops on the hook. And then you'll just half double crochet going all the way down the chain. Once you get to the end of the row, you'll chain up 2. 1, 2, and then turn your work, yarn over, and now you're going to always half double crochet into the back loop only. So you have the front loop and the back loop. You're going to insert just in the back loop and make that half double crochet. And you'll do that every single stitch. So you have that front loop, the back loop, just enter through the back. And this will be for every single row that you do for this pattern. You're just going to enter into the back loops only, and that'll give it that nice like ridged kind of bumpier look. So you're just going to keep going all the way across in even rows, 14 half double crochet in each row. And then once you get to the end, you'll chain 2 and keep going. All right, so you'll keep going in the back loops only until you do 19 rows. For me, that measures to about 9.5 inches. Again, this is for the smallest size pumpkin. And then once you get to that 19th row, now we're going to connect the 2 ends. So from here, that last stitch, you'll connect it to the first initial chain that you made. We're going to chain 1 and then connect it from the back loop only of that last row that you made into that initial foundation chain. Pull the loop through, and you're just going to make a slip stitch. So you'll just pull it, that loop through that loop, and then keep going down. So back loop only, and then into that chain, pull loop through, and then pull the loop through to make a slip stitch. So I'll show you again, back loop of this last row into the next spot of that foundation chain, pull a loop through, and then pull a loop through, and then keep going all the way down to connect the 2 sides. Once you get to the end, you'll make a slip knot and then cut, and you're going to want to leave a long tail. So I'm just going to cut here and then pull that long tail through. Okay, so now you're going to want to grab your tapestry needle and you're going to thread that end, the ends of the tail through the tapestry needle. I'm doing both ends. And now I'm just going to go through and insert the needle in and out of this edge. So I'm literally just inserting anywhere I want, in and then out, and adding a stitch going through here. I'm just going to go and do that all the way until I get back to where I started. Okay, once you get back to where you started, you'll take that tail and pull it so it cinches. Right like that. And then I'm just going to make a knot on the bottom by going to the opposite side of the hole to where the yarn is coming out of. I'll just pull in one kind of stitch there, and then you can just make a knot closing up that hole on the bottom. And I'll insert once, twice into the loop to make a knot. Make it nice and tight. And then just thread the needle through the bottom and pull that long tail all the way through so it's nice and closed on the bottom, just like that. And then I'm just going to take the tail and tuck it in. All right, next what you're going to want to do is add in the fiber fill. Pieces like this, break them apart, and then as you stuff, just stuff the outside and try to leave like a hole, I guess you could say, going down the middle. So as I'm stuffing, I'm just making sure that like I'm leaving space in the middle. I'm actually going to take my crochet hook and just stick it through here so I leave a space. This is going to be important later on. All right, so I'm going to stuff it. I think just like that is fine. And I can always stuff it a little bit more later on. But now I want to sew the other side closed. So I'm going to take 2 strands of the green and make a really long tail or a really long piece. So really nice and long. I'm going to insert it both into one side. I'm going to make like a double or a triple knot on the other side. And then just insert the needle wherever you want. And I'm probably going to go through a few times just in that one spot, just to make sure that that knot stays in place. Now I'm going to start to stitch up the other side. So same thing that you did, just insert in and out throughout the top of the pumpkin. Okay, once you get to the back to the beginning, you'll just pull it nice and closed. Unless you want to stuff it a little bit more, then you can stuff it more and then pull it close. And I'm still, if you notice, keeping that crochet hook going through the center, because now what you're going to do is squish it down, take the tapestry needle and insert it right through the center. If you don't push the stuffing off to the sides and don't do this little crochet hook hack, it can sometimes be just like really hard to jam the needle through the fiber fill. So it's nice to leave that like little space so you can just easily insert the needle through. And I'm just going to pull the yarn from the top of the pumpkin to the bottom, and I'm going to then wrap it again and go from insert the needle from the top of the pumpkin to the bottom. Once it's coming out of the bottom again and you have this loop, I'm just going to pull it tight kind of wherever it lands. And now I'm going to, I want to evenly space out these like ridges. So maybe I'll count over like 1, 2, whoops. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe like 4 rows, and I'll insert the next one. There's like no right or wrong way because it should look a little natural in my opinion. So I'm just going to insert it again, pull it through, and just space this next loop out again like 4 or 5 rows over from that first loop, and then just really pull it tight. And then I'm going to go, like I can kind of eyeball where I want it to go next. Insert, pull it through the bottom. This one I did here, so like 1, 2, 3, 4. Line it up where you want it to go and then pull it nice and tight. You can kind of see how it's creating that like, you know, that lumpy effect. Let's do it again. Pull it nice and tight, and then my first one is here. I think I'm going to do one more. So pull through top to the bottom. And pull it nice and tight. And now I can pull this crochet hook out. And then what I'll do on the back side is just anywhere you want, insert your needle through, and we'll make a knot to finish this off. Once, twice, pull it in nice and tight. Then I'm going to pull it from the, put the needle from the bottom to the top, and then just cut that tail. You can also like weave it on the bottom too. All right, so that's the pumpkin. Now we're going to do the little stump. All right, to make the stump, I'm going to start off with 2 strands of brown yarn. This is cotton, but it's still for a medium weight. And the 6.5mm hook. I'm going to make a magic ring. So wrapping the yarn around, crossing it, and then pulling a loop through and single crochet up, chain up 1. And then make 5 single crochet into that magic ring. Once I've made the 5, I'm going to take the tail and pull it close. Now the 6th single crochet is going to go into the first single crochet that you made. And I'm just going to I'm not going to count rows, I'm just going to count stitches. So that was your 6th single crochet, and you're going to work your way up to 25 single crochet. So I'm going to go into the next one, and this is 7, 8, 9, 10, and I'm just evenly working it into each single crochet. 11, 12, and you'll start to notice the stump forming. 13, 14, 15, right? So you're getting the idea. And then you can make this stump like as big, as long as you want it to, really. But I'm going to work till 25. So I have 10 more single crochet to go. Once I've done that 25th single crochet, I'm just going to make a slip knot, pull it tight, and then cut a little bit of a tail for sewing it onto the pumpkin. And then just pull that tail all the way through. And then I'm going to take the tail from the top part and just cut. So now I have the stump, and we're going to attach it to the pumpkin. So take your tapestry needle again and insert it on the ends of both sides, and then go from the top of the pumpkin to the bottom and just pull that all the way through. Now I think in order just to make it a little more secure, I'm going to do another stitch from the bottom to the top and just, get that stump in there. So I'm kind of pulling it up through the stump, and then I'm going to put it down again into the stump to the bottom. And you can maybe do this a few times if you really want it to be like secure, but I think that's fine. And then all I'm going to do on the bottom is just make a knot anywhere I want with the brown yarn. Just make that knot, and then I'm going to insert and pull through from the bottom to the top. Kind of pull it nice and tight so you don't see that brown yarn on the bottom. And then just cut nice and close. And there you have it. This is your mini size pumpkin. So cute. All right, so there you have it. These are my 3 size pumpkin. They're just slightly different size in variation, you can see. Very slightly different sizes, but you can see how you can just apply the same principle and make them as big or as small as you really want. But they're nice and chunky. And if you want the dimensions and the pattern for the bigger ones, I'll have that linked in the description. That'll take you to the blog post that I have on crochetbycolleen.com of just how to make the different sizes, but it's just a slight variation. You're just going to add more chains in the beginning and do more rows just to make it a little bit bigger, but they're only slightly different sizes, but they're so cute. And there you have it. So if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video.